Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Talsy, and today I wanted to talk about the topic of obsession and limerence when it comes to conscious manifesting. I think this is actually a topic that's pretty rife, or a theme that's pretty rife in the tarot community, because on this channel you guys know I like to combine tarot and law of assumption and consciousness and actually bridge the two areas. And so let's talk about the theme of obsession. And this is something that can come up for tarot enthusiasts, and it also can come up when people are consciously manifesting a specific person and they feel like they're in a very obsessed state. And so I do want to talk about that and the idea of what is limerence, even the idea or the obsession or infatuation with someone that is not reciprocating, for example. So I want to explain why when it comes to consciousness, it's never to do with the other person. It's always to do with states of consciousness. So bear with me and I'll break it down for you guys. Obsession is never about a person, nor is limerence, it's a state. Okay, so I'm not a psychologist, guys. So if you really feel like you're suffering or you feel like you cannot live without a person and you are struggling internally, please do see a professional. But from a consciousness perspective, I want to explain that obsession is always an identity. It is you basically being the version of you that desires a person and sees that person as above you or unattainable, and that is one version of you out of infinite identities that you could possibly embody. Because if you follow me, you'll understand that I explain that consciousness is infinite, that you are merely awareness of being, and you're always choosing to experience reality through an identity. So when you select an identity, sometimes unknowingly, where you're the version of a person, where your desired person, they're unattainable, they're above you, they're impossible, you may experience obsession or limerence. Now, limerence is a psychological term for that obsessive infatuation. So you might be constantly thinking about someone, idealizing them, obsessing about the idea of them reciprocating, feeling like it's impossible, going through loops of pain, desperation, etc. And again, I'm not a psychologist, so please do not mistake me as being a substitute for therapy. Maybe you are constantly fantasizing, replaying moments you had with them, conversations, analyzing, checking tarot to see whether or not they want you, social media, stalking, looking for signs. You feel high when you do get attention, if you do, and then you suddenly feel crushed when you don't, and you go into these kind of states where you are dwelling in the idea that this person that's unrequited love or impossible, or you can't possibly have them. So your happiness is actually depending on the idea of whether or not they're going to choose you or not choose you. And so here's the part that people miss. Limerence, obsession, etc. It is a version of reality that is always a reflection of you. It's not like your intuition. It's not that you're fated or destined to have this experience. It's not divine timing. It's just a state of consciousness where you're desperately seeking the reflection to show you who you are. So you're basically saying, I'm the version of me that is seeking something outside of me or someone outside of me, and it's unattainable, and this is what's being reflected back to you. Okay, so whatever you perceive as unattainable or like a god outside of you, because we're all gods of our own reality, well, that is one experience that you're choosing, and it's being reflected back. Okay, or if you say that this is hard to get, that is what's being reflected back. Okay, so it all boils down to consciousness, perspective, who you're being. And you can shift this very quickly, guys, okay? And you can check out my last video on how once you know that you're the source and the evidence, everything becomes more effortless, okay? Because you literally are everything. You contain every possible experience through you, through your imagination and your awareness of being, out of the eternal consciousness that you are, and a selection of the I am that I am the version of me that has the person, and fulfilling that desire. So being in the state of, I need them to choose me for me to be okay, really it's only going to show you a reflection or a reinforcement that that person is either coming and going, or you're not okay because they're not there, or whatever, in a variety of different creative ways, and you're in this loop. So if you say they're the source of my fulfillment, well, this goes against the whole premise that your desires are done and complete from the moment that you choose them through your awareness, and the fact that creation is finished and it's available to you through self-validation and self-fulfillment. So how can you look outside for validation and fulfillment of something that you've already fulfilled. You can't be the version of you where that person wants you, fulfilling that, accepting that, validating that, and be the version of you that's desperate for that person to want you. So the real truth, consciousness is the only reality. Imagination is the only reality, as Neville Goddard said. It's not the person, the circumstances in this present perception that you're having where you're feeling like you're pining for them and they're not reciprocating. It's not any tarot reading that you're watching where you're resonating with it and it appears that there's all these complications and they're out of reach or it's unrequited. It's not that story. Reality is not happening to you. It is responding to you or reflecting you, and that reflection shifts with you. So it's all about you shifting who you're being and self-validating and refocusing, not in an obsessive way, guys, focusing. So being the version of you that knows that you're the source of it all, deciding because you have everything, you can fulfill your desire within. The outside is going to reflect that fulfillment of your desire that you have chosen, like you have fulfilled it yourself. Okay, so obsession is not about the person. Limerence is a state, for sure. It is a reality, guys. I'm not denying that it exists. Everything exists, but it's changeable. Limerence is not the pining for someone that is out there and it's impossible. It's a chosen state. Okay, hot and cold. I've done a whole video on that. I'll link it up. That's an identity loop. It has nothing to do with them being unavailable, the circumstances, you not being their type, or them being a particular behavioral type that is unchangeable, or any of it. Everyone can reflect anything depending on your concept of self, how you identify with them, what you think and assume about them. So it's all about identity and how you see yourself in relation to them and what your dominant thoughts and assumptions are about them, the situation, how you see yourself in relation to your subject, your desire. Do you see it as something outside of you, or do you see it as something that is already fulfilled from within? So all states are there to be occupied, as Neville said. So if you feel like you're in a state of limerence, you're occupying that state. If you feel you're in a state of fulfillment, you self-validate, you're the only evidence. You say, that person wants me, full stop, period, because I said so. You're in that reality from the moment you make that assumption. You do not need to look outside for the evidence or the validation. Your experience of that will be reflected back to you. Okay, otherwise, the experience of longing, waiting, craving, uncertainty, chasing, stalking in some cases, guys, I've talked about stalking a lot. It's a state and I would encourage you not to do it. Okay, it's not the same as having someone. You would never be doing that if you were in the state of self-fulfillment or emotional dependency, etc. All your experiences are stemming through you, okay? So consciousness can only reflect itself, which is you. So putting someone on a pedestal creates resistance, right? So I do a lot of work on self-concept and why you should absolutely always put yourself on the pedestal. It's not in an arrogant way, it's just that you are always God of your reality, whether you're being the God of your reality where your assumption is that people are higher than you, it's still an illusion. You're still the one operating the show and assuming that, or whether you're the God of your reality and you accept that you're the absolute pinnacle and that you're at the top and that you're always chosen and that it is whatever you say it is. Both can be your experience, okay? So you need to get yourself into a concept of self and a self-concept that you are the most powerful, you're the most valuable, you're always chosen. Your desire is done because your desire is the evidence. It has already been created. It is a selection through you. Self-validate, okay? If you don't and you look consistently for the outside to validate you or show you that it's true, you're going to create resistance. It's an illusion of separation. You perpetuate the state of lack. You seek validation and you can only receive as a mirror as true what you assume. So seeking validation that they love you or want you is you assuming that it's not the case, right? And this perpetuates, and it's just a state. So it's very shiftable. If everything exists in the now moment, you just need to return to the now and say, who am I being right now? And what am I assuming right now? Whatever I assume right now, it's a fact. It's the truth, okay? Without chasing, without looking for evidence. So lack becomes bigger and bigger because wherever your focus is, it perpetuates, just as fulfillment becomes bigger and bigger, is shown to you, is reflected back, because It's your focus, it's your identity, it's how you're perceiving things. So we don't want obsession or limerence to be your reality, and this is the solution. So if you're constantly living from a state and perceiving reality as, I don't have them, why don't I have them, why can't I have them, I think that I could have them, but they're not showing up the way I want them to. If I don't have them, I don't know what I'll ever do with myself. I feel like I can't even live. Why don't they want me? Why don't they love me? All this sort of stuff, guys. It's still all you. It's the way you're thinking and perceiving them, and they're your mirror. Okay? If you think I'm waiting till they choose me, they won't choose you if you don't decide that you're already the one that is chosen. Your mind wants to prove you right. Your reality wants to prove you right. So you're always going to see evidence that you're not chosen. Okay? So it's like a self-fulfilling. So I don't like prophecy. It sounds like it's fortune telling, which I don't do on this channel. It's just a self-fulfilling state. And you can equally have a self-fulfilling state in deciding that you're the one that's chosen. And all this obsession is going to die out, guys. You're going to feel that sense of inner fulfillment, and it will be validated. It must. So let's talk about tarot, checking, seeking validation. This is why people get stuck sometimes watching tarot every single day and obsessing about what the tarot reader is showing. Now, not because tarot is bad, guys, and you know anyone that follows me regularly that I do use tarot, but I use it as like a snapshot of your current focus or even past awareness, what has shown up and what is going on with you. It's a reflection of you. It's like a frame of consciousness of the totality of every single possible experience and timeline that is existing right now, right? All points of existence, all versions of you, okay? And circumstances and characters that are reflecting you in the now moment, that can be shifted in the now moment, okay? So it's all about your awareness of being and the way that things are appearing to be playing out from a particular identity and that awareness, right? And so if you're watching from fear, okay, and from this limerence or this obsession, then you're going to resonate and have reflected back tarot readings that are confirming those assumptions about yourself and your subject of desire, the person, etc. They're going to reconfirm that something is out of reach, unattainable, someone's going to come but only in divine timing, etc. So if you're reaffirming all the time, I need confirmation, I need reassurance, I need proof, the tarot lady said that they are not ready for me, when are they going to be ready, maybe they'll never be ready, maybe I'm just imagining things because I can't stop thinking about this person, but they don't think about me and they don't love me. Well, it's all coming down to what you're assuming in the now moment. So if you assume that they don't want you, you're going to find the evidence that they don't want you or they can't be with you. So when you keep asking these questions like, is there a third party? Will they leave the third party? When is this going to happen? Is this meant for me? You're just selecting that version of reality where you're uncertain and things are playing out in all sorts of ways. Your subconscious is just delivering you lots and lots of evidence and circumstances and conditions, and your mind is like, yep, I knew it, it's true. Reality is proving you right, okay? So waiting manifests more waiting, okay? The shift from obsession to fulfillment. Here is a shift that dissolves limerence, in my opinion, guys. Again, go see a psychotherapist or a counselor if you feel like this is a massive struggle, but I'm telling you this from my perspective and from a consciousness perspective. So to dissolve limerence completely, first of all, stop trying to get the desire outside of you. So why did Neville talk about being in the state of the wish fulfilled? It's not like something that you are hoping for to be delivered outside of you by some God. You are God, so you are choosing a state and fulfilling the desire as done because the desire is already complete and created, and it is playing out simultaneously on a parallel timeline, a parallel identity and version of you that exists in the now, and your acceptance of that through your awareness of being that version, it's going to materialize for you and be mirrored back to you, okay? So your state is essential, so just fulfilling and validating it for yourself, getting into that habit of doing that going to alleviate limerence. So when you accept the you, that is God of your reality, okay, operant power, universe, source, etc., and that all of your desires are already created and fulfilled through your acceptance of them, thinking as the version that is fulfilled versus the version where it is absent and your desire is outside of you, okay, giving it to yourself internally with the knowing that this is the truth, because it's a selection that only you can validate, then that is what you're going to experience, and you're going to have that shift fast, okay? It's a momentary shift you can make, okay? Moment by moment by moment, okay? So sticking to that. So it's all about experiencing internally first in imagination, okay? And through your identity and your awareness, I'm the me that has whatever, whoever I want already, because that is so. Or the person, or the version of the person, never mind circumstances, conditions, etc., that also stem from your imagination and your identity. They're going to move around according to you. So that is the key. That's going to dissolve your obsession. You're going to actually feel much more neutral and calm. Okay, would you be obsessed about anything or anyone that you already have? No. You would feel pretty natural and neutral about it. You wouldn't feel limerent. Okay, you wouldn't feel any of these things. So self-validation is key. Fulfillment does not come from the person. Okay, sure, you can be in a fulfilling relationship, guys. I'm not saying that there isn't that aspect to it, but you will not get the fulfillment by begging the outside for someone that seems unattainable and waiting on the fulfillment. You must fulfill the desire first, okay? It comes from that self-validation of, I have it because I said so, okay? That's it. The moment you say, it's mine because I say it is, and know it and claim it, and do not go back on your decision, and know it's because you're the source of your experience and you don't need to chase it, and you say, I choose this as my reality because I'm the source of all things, I'm the only one who chooses my experience, I'm the consciousness behind my identity, and my identity is the one that has it, then everything you want and desire, you've fulfilled it internally, it must materialize. It's inevitable. It's the law, okay? As within, so without. So fulfilling within means that the outside reflects, okay? So just be the you that knows that. And so if you catch yourself feeling obsessive, bring yourself back to the now moment and say, who am I being? And what am I assuming? Whatever I assume in the now, it's fact, and then just do not deviate from that. I assume so, therefore it is. There is no separation between you and your desire. That's an illusion, okay? So things are immediately, you're already in that timeline. Everything's moving around. Obsession is going to collapse because now you're no longer chasing for something outside, which is you being in the awareness that it's absent. You are choosing to be the you that is fulfilled, where that desire feels very natural and very obvious to you, because you just have that knowingness and acceptance that you already have it, okay? It's a truth that you accept from within. It's a desire that you're giving yourself from within. So when it feels natural, it feels calm, it doesn't feel frantic, it doesn't feel obsessive, it doesn't feel limerent. You're not focused on all the obstacles, and you're not on this emotional roller coaster either, looking for someone outside of you to show you your worth or your value, or if you're doing anything right, or if you're good enough, etc., because you know that you're everything, okay? No more pining, no more checking for someone, whether or not they can be part of your life. If you're in your end, and all ends exist now, if you're in a relationship with someone, or you accept that you're the version of you who, of course, they're chasing you, pursuing you, kissing your ass because you're it, then you've accepted that, and you're going to allow it to happen because you know that that's inevitable. So all timelines are coexisting. That's the quantum truth. All versions of you existing parallel, playing out right now. So all you need to do is align with the version of you that thinks and embodies exactly what I just told you. I'm the me that's being pursued. I'm the me that is chosen. I'm the me anyone I want wants me even more. I'm in the relationship with that person because I said so. I've chosen that experience, therefore it is fact. I'm thinking that they want me, so they must want me. There is a version of reality right now where you are chosen, you are pursued, you are prioritized, You are the only one. There are no third parties. The relationship is secure because you are secure. Connection is mutual. It's reciprocal. If you love a person, they love you. There's a version in existence, or you wouldn't even think it. I'll also link up the video. Your specific person already loves you. For those of you that are new, you're not creating it, you're just selecting it, and selection happens through identity and your consciousness, okay? But when you're in longing, anxiety, lack, obsession, waiting, fear, you're just tuned into that version of yourself and reality, okay? So also from a frequency perspective, like being in the state of the wish fulfilled, well, there's a frequency of having where something feels very neutral, and that's going to be reflected back to you. That's your experience, right? If we want to talk about the universe, which is you, universe just being a mirror to you and who you're being, well, the frequency of having, the universe is going to show you that you have it. So self-validation, fulfillment, calm, certainty, that should be your baseline, and then you're tuned into that particular timeline, that experience, okay? So desire is never the problem. You don't have to feel guilty for your desires. Your desire is just awareness of what already exists for you to claim from within. But when you believe desire means I have to try and I have to beg and I may not get it, or I have to force this because my desire is outside of me or doesn't even want me, like if you think you desire a person but you're obsessed with the idea that they may or may not want you, then you are just going against yourself and something that could be very simple and very easy just by you shifting, okay? So you turn your desire into suffering that way, and suffering really is the illusion of something being separate. It's like I said, fulfillment is fulfillment. There is no suffering in fulfillment because you feel whole, you feel complete, which you already are, guys. You are everything, but when you accept it and you're like, I know that I have this because I have it. Desire is evidence, desire is selection, desire is already complete and done at the acceptance of it internally. So you are whoever you say you are, you have whatever you say you have, and then that knowingness of that, everything becomes effortless, okay? You can lead your day with the path of joy, you can get on with things, and you're gonna see the evidence show up so fast, okay? You're gonna be mind blown. So the identity that ends limerence. Limerence ends when you move into the identity of I'm the source, I'm the chooser and selector of my reality through who I'm being and my perspective, my lens, my observation, how I see myself, how I see said subject or desire. I'm the center of my world, I'm the operant power, and from that state, you never have to beg, you never have to chase, you never have to look for evidence, you never have to double check for signs, you don't have to stalk, and you don't have to go in and out of anxiety, you don't spiral, and there's definitely no obsession or limerence. You simply just decide and reality follows you. So if you have been feeling obsessed, if you've been stuck in cycles of longing, hoping, checking, feeling hopeless, despair, maybe you even wondered whether or not you're in a state of limerence, thinking that someone is completely impossible or unattainable, or you even had people saying to you that you're in a state of limerence, whatever, or you feel like something is impossible and you keep checking tarot and you keep resonating with readings that tell you that your person needs to deal with karma or divine timing, or they're with a karmic and may want you but only when they have overcome karma, or they're not interested in you, or they're not the commitment type, or they're not healed, or they're not ready for you but maybe in another lifetime, or any other bullshit like that, or that they're always going to pick third parties over you, or even that there's some hex or curse that has a hold over them and therefore you will never be able to attain them until it's broken. All this bullshit, guys. If you are sitting there and thinking about this and dwelling in this, and then you feel a very strong connection with the person, feel like you just keep going around in cycles and you're feeling almost like you're going loopy or limerent or obsessive, and you feel like what you want you simply can't have, and you're obsessing over reciprocity, then I just want to please give you the reassurance that this is just one experience, and you keep reselecting, and it's what you're resonating with in the now moment. It's a perspective, it's an identity, and it's so shiftable now, okay? With some consistency in just detaching from that and choosing again. So if you've been looping in tarot and seeking validation outside of you, if you've been waiting for someone to choose you, if you've been listening to people say that you can't have what you want, or that you're crazy for wanting what you want, or you think someone's your soulmate or the love of your life and you feel like they're not giving you the time of day in this moment and version of reality from this identity that you're in, then it's time to check concept of self, that you're the I am consciousness, the self concept that your desire is already done because you are the center of your world, you're always chosen, you're loved. So of course that person loves you because you're everything, and know you're the evidence, self-validate that. With consistency, you're going to feel more and more like this is very much your new normal, and you're actually going to see the evidence, right? Be the evidence so you can see the evidence. You've just been living in this state of wanting and not having. The moment you shift into the state of having, it all becomes pretty easy. The world's going to rearrange and prove you right, okay? And it's never because you forced the person to change, or you manipulated them, or you changed their mind. You changed you. No one to change but self, as Neville said. And everyone in your outer reality must mirror you. So that is what you did, and therefore that is what you're going to receive. So I have 2 free primers in the description of this video for those of you that are into tarot or conscious manifesting but want to go a bit deeper. One is on how tarot mirrors your consciousness and not the other way around, and also another one on how to stop looking outside of you for evidence, and why your identity and your assumptions are the only evidence that you ever need in order to get your manifestation effortlessly, to be in the knowing that what you want is already yours. So I hope that this cleared things up, made things a little easier for you guys. Check out those free primers if you're interested, and otherwise I'm sending you guys so much love, and I'm going to check in with you real soon.